Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a film actor. I am about to talk to my friend Maurice Brown. He is a director and writer of a short film called Chance. I had the pleasure of being in this film in 2025, and it is currently going into the film festival circuit. I'm really excited to talk to him because I just saw a private screening of Chance at his house this past weekend, and I thought it really turned out great. Everything looked stunning. There was action, there was comedy, there was drama, great acting, great production quality. And so I'm excited for you to meet him and hear more about this film, his vision for it. Hey, I'm going to try and get him to tell you where you can see it because on film festivals, you can't, when it's in there, you can't then show it to the public. The film has to be kind of out of the film festival circuit for you to then have a public viewing. So I'm going to try and get him to let you know where that's going to be showing and how you could get involved if you want to support a feature film or episodic version of this film being made. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, follow, do all the things. I'm also going to link a bunch of Maurice's socials in the description here. I know he has a great radio and comedy show as well. We'll link to all of those things. His name is Maurice Brown. Maurice Brown Comedy is his YouTube channel. So let's go talk to Maurice. Hi, I'm Stephanie Peterson. I'm a film actor, and today I am talking to my friend Maurice Brown. He is
Hello,
a
everybody.
director, writer, producer now of the short film Chance that I had a pleasure of being a part of this past year in 2025. And hello, Maurice.
Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And Maurice is being so gracious because we did this interview one time and I messed something up and he is so nice and doing it again with me. So thank you so much, Maurice. And I
Okay.
have a bit of trivia for you, Maurice.
Okay.
Okay. Who is our mutual friend on the film you worked on called Love Different?
Michael Patterson.
Michael Patterson. That's one. I knew we would have more than one. Michael J. Patterson. Such a
Uh,
great guy, an amazing actor if you have not followed him. Okay, do you know anyone else that we have mutually in common?
the other person, Jen Gotson.
Jen Gotson, you got it. Yes. She has also, I have known her since the very first Christian film I did a very
Okay.
long
Wow.
time ago called I Am Gabriel. And that had Gavin Castellano in it, who is on the huge hit show The Summer I Turned Pretty. He was such a nice kid. And Jen Gotson was in it. I met her then. And she has been such an amazing friend over the years as a working actor. So, yes, we have so many mutual friends, Maurice.
Oh, yeah. A ton. There's no
Yeah.
question about that.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about the short film Chance very soon. But before that, I want to talk about you. I know you have your great radio show, your YouTube channel, Maurice Brown Comedy, and you have had your hand in all kinds of cool little media things. You want to tell us about a few of those things?
Well, yeah, I've been doing a podcast now for 5 years, which started during COVID. And, I was doing stand-up comedy and, we can't get on stage during this time.
Yeah.
So you try to figure out a way to keep yourself busy in entertainment, and that's what I
Yes.
came up with. And I started interviewing comedians, and then it turned into actors, and then it turned into just strictly faith-based entertainers and actors,
Wow.
screenwriters, and directors and comedians.
I love that.
And so it's been a lot of fun, and I've stayed with it.
Wow, that is impressive. And not everybody took the plunge right when COVID happened. So I
Yeah.
say bravo to you. I'm kind of a late adopter of things. I get a little scared. And so I'm impressed with you just like diving in and that you kept it going. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, and that's that. You want it's amazing as I say this, as you say that it is amazing that I'm still doing it because it does take a lot, and you've got
Yes.
to be very busy with trying to schedule interviews and get people on the show and all those different
Right.
things. But I got into a really good rhythm with it, and God has been allowing me to do it. I mean, I do a show called Breaking Down the Four Walls where we have Bible study with it's a Bible study with
Oh,
comedians.
awesome.
And I'm just doing that, and of course other interviews. So it's a lot, but once you get into the rhythm, you can keep it going.
You know, a Bible study with comedians sounds like the Bible study that's up everyone's alley. Like everyone would want to watch that. It's a genius idea.
Well, it's I want to take it to live audiences now. It's been on the
Yes.
podcast, and now I want to set up, I don't know, a podcast, a live studio audience in front of a church,
Yeah,
and just get 3 or 4 comedians up there, and maybe the special guest comedian will do like a 5 minute set, and then we'll get
sure.
into the word, something like that. So it
Absolutely.
is fun.
Love that. You really have some really cool visions. And so, speaking of how visionary you are and all of these things you can execute, let's talk about the film Chance. So, set this up for the people who are watching because no one has seen this film yet. I am so privileged as a cast member that I already got to see a private screening of the full short film Chance, and I thought it was incredible. But you tell our audience, whoever's watching this, and if you're watching, I hope you're subscribing right now here and also at Maurice Brown Comedy, and tell us what the film Chance is about.
So the film Chance is a faith-based film which tells a story of a sexual assault that haunts a child into his adulthood. And that adult is now a detective, aka Stephen Riker in the film.
Yep.
And he's got issues with anger.
Mm,
In arresting suspects, he goes too far, and he's becoming a police officer that can be accused of police brutality.
yeah.
So the department is about to terminate him in an effort to save him because they love him. He is a good police officer, a good cop, detective, if you will. And so they partner him with another detective who has been pretty much an overzealous Christian during his time on the force, overzealous, Bible thumping. The terms holy roller, all those different things.
Yes.
And he's also a stand-up comedian at night, which he performs with the dog on stage. And so last thing the main character wants to do is to be partnered with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the quote unquote quasi punishment to save his job. So they are assigned their first case is a sexual assault case,
Mm,
and hence the narrative begins.
yes. You
And
know,
yeah,
go ahead.
and during that time, the main character divulges his inner demons experience with the partner. His wife doesn't even know about it. He's never told anyone about it.
Mm,
And
yeah.
but he gets this comfort level with this partner, this kooky Bible thumper,
Hmm.
and I guess in his mind he decides I think I can tell this guy,
Mm,
and that's kind of when our relationship really forms, and it's a story of redemption and forgiveness. It's a
yeah.
story that people need to see and know that Jesus Christ died on that cross for every sin, and
Mm.
that's how we present the film.
Yes. Wow. This is such a great concept. And here's what I'm going to blow the audience's mind right now. This
Mhm,
short film is 15 minutes. And
mhm.
all of those aspects are told in this story and told really well. This is
Thank you.
a genre that the Christian film community has not had yet, which is the buddy cop. I
Right.
love a buddy cop. I love buddy cop films. I watch them to this day. I watched them growing up, and this is something we need.
I think so. It's nothing in faith-based entertainment, film-wise, where it's a buddy cop
Yeah.
film or slash situation. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so, yes, this is also getting into new territory in the faith-based world. And like 48 hours and
Yeah.
lethal weapon, all this stuff. The
Yeah.
faith-based world, it needs stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what we should point out about that, speaking of buddy cop films and speaking of Chance, this short film, is that this does handle that really huge topic of a sexual assault,
Mhm.
but it does it with levity. you are not sitting in the film uncomfortable. You are not, oh no, this is a lot. This is heavy. This is dramatic. We're crying for a long time. It's not that at all. It is
Yeah.
handled. You know what's happening, but it is done very well. I really applaud the writing and the direction so that the audience knows what's happening and what's happened, but there's this comedic Bible thumper as well, and there's a
Mhm.
dog, and the banter between. Let's just point out too that who plays the Bible thumper in the buddy cop duo.
Well, that would be me. So,
That's it. And you did
yeah.
such a great job.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. So I was able to use my 13 years in stand-up comedy and just, get into that
Yeah.
role, which was very comfortable for me to get into. By the way, I want to mention that the actor that plays Stephen Riker is Carter Nelms.
Yes, Carter
Uh,
Nelms did a phenomenal job. You believe him. He is intense. He pulls off detective. The thing is, too, this is a short film done on a very small budget, and there is action. There is shooting. There are overhead drone shots, and you want to know what's going to happen next. It is
yes.
exciting. It really feels like a cop film.
And we try to make it that way as much as we could with because there's some action in there as well. I mean, it's not,
Yes,
it's diverse. It's a heavy
it
theme,
is
obviously. There is comedy, no question, and there's also action and
action.
thrills within the 15 minutes. So we're hoping and praying that we can extend this out into a
Yes,
series or a full feature length.
yes. Let's talk about that because here's what our audience may not know. We probably have a lot of audience members who are interested in film and love to watch films, but maybe they don't always know how an independent film, independent meaning not backed by a huge studio, not backed by a huge actor, how that gets made. And oftentimes, a short film is made first, and it's kind of a proof of concept. And then the point of that short film is to find funding for either a feature length or an episodic. And so, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about possibly getting the funding that you need to turn this into a feature episodic?
Well, the first thing we want to do is get nominated in some festivals.
Yes.
And certainly getting some wins would increase our opportunity. Also, I'm seeking grants,
Great.
and because this is a faith-based film, you can get there are all kinds of grants out there
Oh,
for
wow.
filmmakers, which
Okay.
I did not realize going into this, but there are a ton.
That's great.
But you have to partner with the right people and going after them, which I
Mm-hmm.
have done,
Mm-hmm.
and so that process is underway in trying to acquire
Oh,
grants.
wow.
Again, there are just a lot of grants out there, and it's faith based.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it doesn't really matter the genre. There are a lot of different ways to get grants. Mine is, of course, through the faith based avenue, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I'm hanging my hat on.
Yeah. Well, and let's take a little step down memory lane too. Speaking of film festivals, that
Mhm.
is how we originally met.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
We
I believe
met
that
at
was in
ICFF, and
2023.
that is International Christian Film Festival.
Mhm.
I'm saying that right?
They've added film and music festival, but you
That's
got it,
right.
Stephanie. You got it.
Yeah. So we met there, but very briefly. We were both representing films that were nominated. I in the Undefiled, a feature
Yeah.
film. And what film were you representing when you were there
When
that
I
year?
was there, I am a part of the volunteer team, so I was doing podcasts for ICFF,
That's great. Yes.
and
Okay, so
and
that is where I saw your exhibition setup was through your podcast. Okay, and that's how I heard
yeah,
about your radio show.
yes, exactly,
And
exactly.
then
That's exactly how we
after
met.
that, you were so instrumental in helping us support the promotion of Undefiled.
Mhm,
Several of our
mhm,
actors, directors, executive producers came on your show, and that
mhm.
was a great experience. And so we kind of connected there as friends and also gushed over our common friends, our mutual friends who were just so talented, like Michael J. Patterson.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then all of a sudden we connected, and our circle has gotten smaller and smaller in the sense that we have realized how close we are, even
Mhm.
geographically. We are so like physically close. I was able to go to your house and it was
Yeah.
right by my kids' school, to
Yeah.
watch the private screening of Chance.
Yes, absolutely. In Austin and right around the corner.
Yeah, yeah, God ordained.
For
So
sure.
cool.
For
I love
sure.
it. Yeah, so okay, let's talk about film festivals again for a minute. So, I want to know which film festivals you have submitted to already or which ones you plan to, because again, our audience may not know, even though I got to see a private screening of the film, we can't show it publicly for certain film festivals. There can't have been like a public showing or exhibition of the film yet. So if our amazing short film gets to be exhibited at certain film festivals, which film festivals might it show up at?
So we're going to be in Venice Shorts Film Festival in California. That's been
Okay.
submitted there. Montreal Independent Film Festival in Canada.
Wow.
Hard Faith Fest in New York. Rain Dance Film Festival in England. The Jesus Cinefest, which is also called an International Christian Film Festival in Argentina. Cannes Indie Shorts Awards in France, Melbourne International Cineverse Film Festival in
Wow.
Australia, Content Film Festival and Media Summit, and that, as of course, that's in Dallas,
That's in Dallas.
Texas.
Hmm.
Tribeca Film Festival in New York, and then, as we were just talking about, the International Christian Film and Music Festival, I've submitted there, and that's going to be in Orlando, Florida.
Amazing. That is a huge list already. And you have some
Yeah,
huge film festivals and then some smaller ones, some that are
right,
niche, some that are overall. And I think that's really smart because then you can really see how the film is doing in different kind of combinations of audiences and
right.
screeners, because it's really all up to the screeners on whether your film festival moves on. I think that's such a good variety of places to show this film, because this film is really entertaining and it has a lot of potential for a good future audience. So yeah,
Mhm.
so if you won, let's say, or if you were able to get some funding, what is kind of your vision for the future of this project?
Actually, I'm thinking more along the line of a series right now. I just like to just
Yes,
turn it into an episodic,
right.
because I can just keep writing on this topic forever.
Yes. I
Um,
mean, I've heard that from you and I believe it because I see how much of a vision you have for things, and
mhm.
our audience needs to know if they're going to watch this film, it has a cliffhanger and you want to see what happens next. You really do.
It ends on a cliffhanger, so I'm going for that, and I've had others within a small community, because not a lot of people have seen it, but I have had someone tell me, you should, Maurice, turn this into a series.
Hmm.
So that's where I'm going with it. And I did another film called Unknown Kingdom last year, where I
Hmm.
got 4 nominations and a win in the
Yeah.
Philippines, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing for that. So the writing chops are amazing. It's something that God has given me. It's a
Hmm.
skill that
Hmm.
I discovered I have, and partly is due to the fact that I've been doing stand up for 13 years. And when you do stand up comedy, you just have to always write. You have to be a
Yes.
dedicated writer. And I think part of the reason I'm able to write is because that's all I've been doing for the past 13, 14 years.
That is such a
So
good point. Yeah,
it fits
comedians, I
perfect.
imagine you're always thinking, you see something in life and you're like, how is this going to work itself into my show? And so your brain's always working as a writer.
And quite frankly and honestly, I found it to be far easier than writing stand up,
Mhm.
because it's stand up. There's a lot of pressure at stand up comedy.
Oh
There's
my
a lot of
gosh.
pressure. There's a lot of pressure to write and be new and be authentic and try to create and expand. It's a ton of writing if you're dedicated
Mm.
to it. So
Hmm.
um, that is one level. Now I'm over here writing a script, and the pressure isn't there.
Mm.
The mind is freer, and
Yeah.
it's like,
And
okay,
does that freeing feeling help you write? Or some people operate and they need that pressure.
well,
Whereas
that's
I
just
I have
it.
to wait until like the juices are flowing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's just it. It's so, I get the idea, like you said, I get the vision, and then I let the Holy Spirit take me where He wants to take me with it.
Yeah.
And so the writing, the mechanics of writing
Hmm.
has come from just writing stand up all the time.
Discipline. Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so let's say our film festival, it will get nominated, it will win something. It is definitely going to. I am very excited about
Amen.
it.
Amen.
Let's say that happens and you get some opportunities and you plan to grow this into some sort of series or feature film, anything beyond our short film that you're going to grow. How could our audience be a part? Like, how could they, if it starts to grow and you're getting some funding and things, let's say you're going to have to close the gap with some funding at the end, how can they kind of follow you and keep in touch and know, when they can be a part of it that way, or just keep tabs on you to find out what's next for the film Chance. And I want to keep saying that name. Y'all remember this short film named Chance because you're going to hear it again.
Well, the main thing you can do because of the age we live in social media is to
Mhm.
just follow my platforms. You can
Yes.
find me on Facebook,
Mhm.
Maurice.Brown.161, or you
Mhm.
can follow me on Instagram, Maurice Brown Comedy, and then I have another one at Maurice Brown Comedy Hour 2 on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Also on Twitter, Maurice underscore capital E underscore Brown on Twitter, or which is now known as X.
X.
um, and then YouTube, just
Yeah.
subscribe to my YouTube comedy channel at
Mhm.
Maurice Brown Comedy,
Yeah.
and just kill it with the likes,
Yeah.
kill it with the hearts and all those different things, because that's ultimately potentially where a lot of people can get the funding that they need to further their project.
Yes. And people watching may not know, but on social channels, your heart is not for you and your other people to see. It is, but oftentimes, for example, YouTube, Instagram, if you have a video up there, they don't just show it to your friends anymore. It's not like back when social media started and only your connections see your things. Now it is being shown to the public, which is what we want because it can
Yeah,
help grow your platform, right?
right.
But if you get a like, one little like, they will all of a sudden show your item to hundreds of more people to see if it will get more likes and more subscriptions.
Yeah.
They just want to see, like, do people want to engage with this content? So if people are checking Maurice Brown out at all of these channels, we're going to put them all in the description. Definitely give him some love with some likes and some subscriptions because that's going to help
Yes.
him grow so that this film can be seen more and he can make more. And I know he has written and has even more plot ideas. So certainly, if you want to hear about those and stay in touch with him that way, definitely be a part of it on the social media. It's the world we live in. We got to ask for the likes. We got to do it.
We got to do it's the world we live in,
It
Stephanie. That's the
is.
bottom line.
It's our job these days. So, yeah.
Yes.
But yes, Maurice, I have been so honored to know you. It's like I said, our circle keeps kind of like shrinking geographically, growing friendship wise. And so I'm so honored to know
Yeah.
you. You're such a great friend. Is there any last thing that you want to say about Chance that we didn't cover?
Well, the only thing I would add is that it is a theme. In my opinion, I just think that there are certain themes in the faith-based world that we kind of shy away from
Yes.
because we don't know quite sure how to handle it, how to tackle it,
Yes.
engage with it, and so it's just left alone.
Right.
And you do need to know how to engage with that subject matter, which
Yeah.
is what we've done with this film,
Yes.
and we've offset the heaviness with some lightness, and
Mm-hmm.
we've got some comedic moments in there,
Mm-hmm.
and we throw some thrills in as well to give you a
Yes.
complete narrative so
Right.
that you can kind of digest it. And
Yes.
I just think that that is the most important thing to remember, that it's an important theme that
Yeah.
a lot of directors in the faith-based world kind
Yeah.
of shies away from, but we need to embrace it in the faith-based world.
Yeah, let's talk about that because you're right. Christian film, faith-based films, we can't be afraid to talk about things. God's not afraid. He is
No,
not afraid. He
no,
knows past, present, and future. He is the beginning
yes,
and the end. We
amen.
do not have to live in fear of contemplating a hard topic. In fact, as Christians, we need to lean in and be a support for people. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you watch a film that handles an issue that you've been in, or an issue of someone you love has been in, it helps you grow. It helps you have empathy. It helps you feel your story out and feel that route of feeling whole again and forgiving others and all of those things. And I totally agree with you. We can't just deal with the light topics. Now, of course, there is a way to do that without being
Yes,
vulgar, without being offensive, of
absolutely.
course, we're not trying to subject people to content that is um, going to offend them.
Yeah.
So I say lean in, and I'm really proud of you and proud of being a part of this project for that reason.
Well, I appreciate that, Stephanie. When you think about Hollywood or the secular world in filmmaking, they're more ready to tackle these subjects.
Yeah.
And the faith-based world should be leading the way into interacting with the subject. But as you said, there's a way to do it
Right.
where everyone understands what's happening without being vile and graphic and profane. And you
Mhm.
can do that very easily. You
Absolutely.
just have to get over the fear of the
Hmm.
subject matter and just tackle it. Let the Holy Spirit show you how to do it.
Right. Oh, wow. That's so good. And if you personally are being led as an artist by the Holy Spirit, then you can just trust. You can trust what God's going to do. When we give an offering, I feel like he supernaturally increases it. He is
Mhm.
going to take our little tiny meager offering and give himself glory. That's what he does.
That's what he does. That's what he does. And just to add, I feel like festivals like Cannes in France, Rainbow in England, just to name a few of the submissions I've made, are more likely to go, this is interesting, just because it's kind of
Yeah.
off the page. Because
Right.
they major in off the page at
Sure.
these
Yes.
festivals. So the fact that they would be open to it, attracts me. Like, wow, think of
Mm,
how many people could be affected to follow Christ by sitting through one of these,
right.
just watching the entire film and being touched by the Lord and
Mm,
wanting to know about Jesus Christ, because
yeah.
there's so many people out there going through horrendous experiences and they're living with
Absolutely.
it. They're masking it with it. That the what's really going on inside, just hiding it, and they're in pain. So
Yeah.
prayerfully, something like that can happen where someone is positively touched to want to know more about Christ.
Yeah, definitely. Because, yeah, people are going to watch this film. And when they're sitting there, they're going to either identify with something or be enlightened about something. And like you said, our end hope is that that thing would be Jesus, that the
Hmm.
one who is worthy of our worship. And let me close this little pop-up that wants to come up here. And yeah, and in the meantime, that doesn't leave us alone, right? We can still seek the healing and resources that we need and that our loved ones need.
Oh, that's right. And I think the biggest hook in the film is like, at the risk of giving away too much, I don't think it is, but I hope it's not. But I think it's important to know that it comes out of nowhere, the hook,
Mm,
because you're going, okay, this is
yeah.
buddy cop film, and
Yeah.
okay, a little bit of comedy. Huh, I like it, interesting.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
fun. Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
something's happening. Yes.
And it's done really well. The message is
Yeah.
conveyed very well, and that is the biggest sticking point right there of
Mm,
getting people healed.
yeah.
As we go on from that point of the film, uh, it is so much that comes after that. And again, it's like you said, it's only 15 minutes, but there's a
Yeah.
lot that's covered, and I just pray the Lord will allow us to go deeper with this and do a lot
Yes.
more.
And talk about more topics, because if you do some sort of
Yes.
series, you can talk about so many things. I say user, sorry, that's like computer science language. Your audience can
Yeah.
request topics even in the future. They can be a part of it and say, I would love to see an episode where Riker deals with this issue or whatever,
Mhm.
and see how him and his family process things and all of that. So I love that it could just go expand here on out, and there's so much potential for this. And like you said, it is enjoyable to watch, and it's realistic. That's the other thing. I know we've talked about this before, Maurice. The end of this episode is not just like a little tight little bow and everyone's just like all healed and happy. It's not quite like that. You know, there is a
Mm.
conclusion. You feel satisfied with the ending, but you know that these people are on a journey and it takes time for healing to take place. And I really appreciate when films have those aspects of realism in them.
Yes, because it stretches out into, as the film states, into something far deeper.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know, and
Yeah.
that is the real draw. Like, okay, this is a real, this is beginning to be a deep story, a long story that people are going to want to see to the end of it. Like, how do we get
Yeah.
this resolved? This is really interesting.
Absolutely. Gosh, just talking with you has got me so excited about this film. Like I said, after I saw it, I was so impressed with the quality and how everything turned out. And you did an amazing job getting the people together, which is what a producer mainly does, is pulling the right people together. And that alone can make a project light years ahead of another one. And Maurice, bravo, you did it.
Well, thank you, because we got, Venus Monique involved, who's in
Yes.
Vindication, Skeeta
She's
Jenkins,
wonderful.
who's been in a lot of films,
Yes.
and of course Carter Nelms is
Yeah.
the main focus. And you guys are so talented. Just to name a few, and it was a true joy to work with you guys.
Oh, and likewise. And I look forward to our next project because there's going to be another one. I just know it, or an expansion of this project, and it's going to be great.
There's going to be another project. There's going to be several more projects, believe me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to get us closed up here. I want to remind everyone to follow Maurice Brown on all of his social channels. Go in the description and go ahead and click those links and get those, all the like, follow, all the little buttons that you have to push. If you can do that for him and just expand so that he can continue doing what he's doing, writing these amazing films, and you can follow along and find out what happens to the short film Chance.
And also catch me in March in Dallas. I'm going to be doing a comedy show with Tim Ketchersid, the Funny Farm show in Dallas on March 6th.
Wait, say the
So
show name again.
it's the Funny Farm show by Tim Ketchersid,
Okay.
comedian Tim Ketchersid. And I'm going to be on that show.
Awesome. Yes. Follow Maurice. You can find out more, find out details on where to do that. Maurice, thank you so much for giving your time twice to letting me talk to you about this film. I think we're going to talk in the future when Chance grows and gets those film festival things going. I think we're going to talk again.
100%. 100%. Totally expect that to happen, Stephanie.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later, Maurice.
Sounds good, Stephanie. Thank you.
Bye.